All right, today we're going to do a deep dive into how to find different alumni and other professionals using LinkedIn. So, when you first go into LinkedIn, there are multiple ways to search for a particular role or a company. Using the search function is a really good way to do that. For instance, if I just type in computer science, you will notice a lot of filters that populate at the very top of the page. So you can search for computer science types of groups that you can join, which are a really good way of getting connected to the industry. You can just connect with people worldwide. Sometimes your first, second, third connections will pop up here. You will notice that a lot of second connections for me are popping up here. Then you will notice there's a tab for jobs. And of course, on the jobs tab, you can use even more filters to narrow that down by experience level, salary, whether it's remote or hybrid or on site. So, highly recommend that you use the filters in LinkedIn when you are doing a job search. You can also, of course, list the city and the state that you would prefer to work in, or just leave it open to see what jobs are out there nationwide. You can see what posts are being displayed on this topic of computer science, and you may find individuals to connect with that way as well. You also will find different types of companies that specialize in this area. You can see different products that are made. Again, those groups, highly valuable. Services, different events that you potentially might want to attend. A lot of these are online and open to really anyone. So highly recommend that you look at those. Sometimes there will be specific courses through LinkedIn Learning that might be posted on these topics. And also you can look into grad schools and things like that. So you can see how very easy it is to navigate one particular topic once you have that in the search function. Today, though, I want to teach you how to use your alumni database. And you can do this for any school that you have attended. I'm just going to use this as for the University of North Carolina at Charlotte as the example for today, but feel free to put your own other universities into the system as well to see what other alumni you can connect with. So when you go to a schools page, first of all, make sure it's the schools page. There are lots of different departments on campus that have their own LinkedIn pages, but make sure this is the actual UNC Charlotte page. You'll notice currently we have over 155 alumni in here, which is a really great number. When you click on alumni, this is where we can get really creative. So I'll just stick I'm going to stick with let's pick someone from the banking industry just as an example. So when you look into the alumni database, this obviously is a huge database. It's very difficult to connect, obviously, with 155,000 people, and this is where you're going to want to narrow this down. So you can narrow it down by where they work, which we're going to do today, and you'll notice that this is only including the top companies where our alumni go. So if there are smaller nonprofits, startups, out of state institutions, most likely you will not see them immediately here, but you can add employers and see if anyone comes up from the list given that new employer's name. You can also see where they live throughout the country. You'll notice that most of our alumni do stay in the North Carolina area, but a few do branch out into other states depending on their industry. You can see what they do specifically, so you can narrow down your search by what they actually do in their role. You can see what they're skilled at, what they studied, and then also how you're connected. So you can narrow it down by just your first, second, or third connections if you'd like to. For those of you who really do want to connect with people in a very similar degree program, I do highly recommend this field. And once again, all of our majors and graduate programs are not immediately listed here, so you make sure you use this add button to put in your very specific degree if it does not immediately come up. So just as an example today, I'm going to show you Wells Fargo. And when I come in here, this all of a sudden is giving me much fewer alumni to connect with, okay? Now, you can come in, and I'm going to put in that same term, computer science, so that I can navigate who is actually doing more tech-related things within this banking industry. So that greatly narrowed it down. As I start looking through the list, I can see how I'm connected, that second connection. I can see their title. If I have a first, second, or third connection, I can see their picture and their name. If I do not have a first, second, and third, it will just come up as LinkedIn member. But again, you can come and you can look at the different types of roles that these individuals have, and you're able to navigate who you would like to reach out to. So I will just reach out to Shreya here. She's a software engineer at Wells Fargo. One of the great things about LinkedIn is you can drop into someone's career path. So I can see that she's now full-time. She started as a technology program analyst, moved up to software engineer. She's been in this full-time role for over a year now. But you can also notice that she did her internship. Let's see when she started, about 2 years before she started full-time at Wells Fargo. But you can see all of the other experiences that she's had that led her to her full-time position. She was at AIG. She did a few things at UNC Charlotte, Kuman instructor, it looks like. But you can see her levels of experience. I then can go down, I can see what her degrees are in. So she's related to UNC Charlotte through her bachelor's degree, even though it looks like she's currently pursuing a master's at Georgia Institute of Technology. You can see some of her certifications, volunteering, her skill sets, honors and awards, and interests. So she has a very basic profile. It's decent. But it does give you a good sense of what's going on. You also can see some of her recent posts, and you can read her comments or any images that she's posted. She doesn't have an about section, so I don't really know why she's gone into the tech industry. But for instance, if I want to reach out to her for a career conversation, I would just hit connect. And then again, adding that note, it's going to have to be under 200 characters. So highly recommend that you write this note in a Google Doc or a Word doc so you know exactly how many characters are in your quick note before you start typing into this. You can also just copy and paste that into this text box. Highly recommend this as you are starting to connect with people through LinkedIn. So let's say I do that. I send a quick message. I send a quick note. What will happen then is you're waiting to make sure that they're going to connect with you back. So you can see if you click on My Network, you'll see all of these different connections, okay? Your connections, your contacts, the groups you're following, and all of that. So when you see no pending invitations, that means no pending invitations to me. But if I click on that, I can also see my sent invitation. So you can see some of the people that I have sent invitations to over the past few weeks. Now, if I've decided I really want to withdraw a particular invitation for various reasons, maybe I messed up on my note, maybe I've connected with them in a different way, maybe I want to try to reconnect with them by alerting them to a new connection, and so I would withdraw. So for instance, I will withdraw this test here, and there it's gone. So you cannot send another connection to someone you've already tried to send a connection to. So Ben here, I couldn't go back to his profile and try to send him another connection. I would have to basically withdraw the connection and then reconnect in that way. So that is just a little bit about how to search the alumni database. Make sure you're using it effectively to connect with alumni in the careers that you're interested in and inviting them into career conversations so that you can learn more about what they do.